Hey guys, Martin here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so just as I was getting ready to go to bed, the JP Twitter posted the information for the other 5 EZAs, as well as the LR, but we already had those details already. If you want to see those, the video I put out yesterday talking about the 9 EZAs, I did actually go over the LR EZA details. So these are the 5 units that are going to EZA from their own Extreme Z battle. We don't know what the weakness is yet, but it'll be one of those 30-stage EZAs, and you'll be able to EZA all 5 of these units from it. So we're going to go through these. Shout out to the Dokkan Wiki for the translations. They managed to get all 5 of them out before Minato, so I know he's frantically working away, so shout out to him as well. But obviously I'm going to use the ones that go up first because I'm actually waiting to go to bed. So I'm going to get this uploaded and then off I go. So this is the Tech and INT WHIS. Now the INT WHIS, honestly, I'm expecting to be one of the better ones because he is a support unit. I really want to have a good runnable support unit out of this batch. So INT and Tech WHIS. The INT one raises defense for 1 turn on Super. That's interesting. And the Tech one raises attack for 1 turn. Okay. The wiki does this thing though where they don't put the rest of the information if it's the same as it was before they were EZA'd. So for example, INT WHIS, his super attack does supreme damage and lowers attack. So what this means is it will still do supreme damage and lower attack, but it now also raises defense for 1 turn. That is kind of annoying. I wish they wouldn't do that because then we could see the full info, but I guess it is what it is. So the passives, the INT one, attack and defense 120%, all allies 3 key and attack and defense 30%. Okay, so decent amount of support. Realm of Gods allies attack, defense, and chance of performing a crit 10% in addition. Okay, so this is good. So Realm of Gods allies get 40% attack and defense, 3 key, and 10% chance to crit. Siblings Bond allies attack, defense, and chance to crit 10%. Oh, okay. So there's some, obviously Beeruses are on Siblings Bond. There's some Vegetas that are on Siblings Bond. So they'll be getting, if they're on Realm of Gods as well, 50%, 3 key, and 20% chance to crit. So that is actually very, very good. And then additional attack and defense 60% for each other Realm of Gods ally in the same turn. Oh, wow, yeah, okay, so this WHIS on a Realm of Gods team is going to be really good. Chance of evading enemy attacks 25% for each other Siblings Bond ally on the same team. So yeah, definitely just designed to be run alongside Beerus units, and like I said, there are some Vegetas that will fit under this as well. So if you have the full rotation for his passive, he's getting an extra 120% attack and defense, as well as a 50% chance to dodge, while providing a ton of support. Yeah, this guy, INT WHIS, seems really, really good. Okay, I'm very happy with that. And then the Tech one, attack and defense 120, attacked enemies, attack and defense minus 20%, and great chance to stun for 1 turn. And then additional attack and defense 60% for each other Realm of Gods ally, and attack and defense 60% for each other Siblings Bond ally. So interesting. So this guy doesn't give any support, but if you have him on the full rotation where the other 2 units are Realm of Gods and Siblings Bond, he's going to be getting an extra 240% attack and defense. So he could potentially hit some pretty high attack stats and have decent defense. The only problem is he doesn't have any other defensive kit. He's just got raw defense and he's not providing any support. So interesting choice. I guess against like an AGL boss, he could be kind of useful, and obviously in Super Battle Road because of the stunning and everything, but the INT one definitely seems like the much better of the 2 WHISes. Next up we have INT Beerus. So INT Beerus has a defense raise of 50% for 6 turns, so he still does supreme damage. I think he had 50%, was it 3 turns previously, or 30%? I actually forget which way around it was. So raise defense by 50% and you can get 6 stacks. That's actually pretty decent. And then his passive is attack and defense 150% when performing a super, plus an additional 30% attack with each attack performed up to 150. Key plus 1 launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super with another Bond of Master and Disciple ally in the same turn. Attacks effective against all types when attacked enemy is debuffed in any way. So this means attack down, defense down, stunned, or sealed. Some of the tougher bosses can still be defense lowered, so this is not a completely dead part of his passive, and it just means he'll do a little bit of extra damage, right? Attacks effective against all types. But much like the Whis being designed to be run with a Beerus, this guy obviously going to want to run with another Whis or another Bond of Master and Disciple unit, which, again, there are some like Vegetas that will fit into that. So him getting the high chance to perform an additional super. So in theory, that means he could super 3 times in one turn. He gets 150 on super, but he has nothing start of turn, so you can't really use him in slot 1. But he could super 3 times, and then each super attack is obviously building up his attack, but he's also getting this 50% defense thing that can stack multiple times. So I'll be very interested to see what his defense is after he gets off a bunch of these super attacks. It feels like he's very much designed to be run in slot 2 next to the LR Beerus and Whis in slot 1. So he seems interesting. The only problem is he has no start of turn defense. So getting 150% defense when performing a super attack sounds like a lot, because when performing a super attack buffs incorporate support, but he has no defense to actually start with. So that's interesting. I could imagine him not actually getting up as high as we might think with this modifier and then the super attack effects, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. I do have this guy Rainbow Link level 10, so obviously I'm going to be doing showcases for all of these units. So now we have the one that I have been waiting for. This is the unit that I have been waiting to EZA for a long time. I love this unit. I rainbowed them on their initial banner. They were one of the hardest hitting TURs in the game when they first came out. So let's see. So they now seal super attacks. So because we got the ... there, so they still greatly raise attack for 1 turn, which they already did, and do supreme damage. But now they also seal. So this is kind of good, right, for enemies that can be sealed, because remember, they're a counter unit. So them sealing is actually quite useful for their own, like, kit, right? And then their passive is Key plus 1, attack and defense 122%. Then we get Key plus 1, defense 122%, and a high chance to crit when there is another Vegeta family ally attacking in the same turn. Okay, so you are going to want to be running them with Vegeta family units then, right? Which, I mean, to be fair, they're not on a ton of teams because the card is Vegeta and Bulma. Defense 80% for 4 turns after receiving an attack. Damage received from normal attacks minus 40%. So 40% damage reduction against normals. You take the first hit and then you get 80% defense for 4 turns. So it's only the first hit on the first turn. At least it's not one of those things where it's the first hit every turn. And then the damage reduction is against normals. So like obviously many counter units, he's going to suffer if he gets hit by super attacks. Is his defense going to be good? Because he gets no defense on super. 122 start of turn. Another 122 with a Vegeta family unit, and then 80% when getting hit. So, I don't know, it could be okay. I mean, he should, in theory, be tanking normal attacks from bosses reasonably well. I guess it depends which ones, though, right? Like, what's he going to be tanking AGL Broly for? Now, the interesting thing is, 5 link partner, this guy is, with the new tech side banner Vegeta. So having the tech side banner Vegeta in slot 1, and then this guy in slot 2, this guy gets hit, gets his buff for 4 turns, so then you can slide him into slot 1 and transform the other Vegeta into Super Saiyan 2 once he gets to the turn where he can transform. That rotation definitely could be quite interesting. And then we have the Rage mode. So the Rage mode obviously lasts for 1 turn. Now, in the pre-EZA form, he has no passive whatsoever. And the super attack, if you're getting the 12 key, is greatly raises attack temporarily, does supreme damage. So he now also lowers defense, which is kind of a nothing extra ability. But he gets key plus 1 and attack 122%. Now, I don't think there's been a rage unit that has an attack buff as part of their passive. So, in theory, if you're getting all 3 super attacks on the rage turn, I think he might actually be hitting quite high attack stats. I don't actually know. Because the problem is with rage units, they don't get links, they don't get support because they're the only unit on the turn. So I guess it remains to be seen. I mean, it's a free turn of damage, right? So even if he's not putting out like insane attack stats, it's still going to be pretty useful. But just as pulling a random number out of the air, if he's pulling off like 5, 6, 7 million attack stats with these attacks, then that would be pretty cool, just to get 3 of them for free. And if it's higher than that, then obviously better. If it's lower than that, obviously slightly worse, but it's still free damage. I guess it remains to be seen. So this is the one I was the most excited for. He doesn't seem super broken. I don't know if I would say he's as bad as physical Super Vegeta. The problem is obviously always going to be if he takes a super, and then the first attack he takes before you get this extra 80% defense buff could hurt, but then you get that for 4 turns. So on the next turn, you don't have to worry about the first attack as much. So, I don't know. I really want this unit to be good, so I don't want to be, like, biased. They definitely, like I say, don't seem as bad as physical Super Vegeta, but I guess we'll have to see. And then last but not least, the INT God Goku. So, this guy greatly raises defense for 1 turn on super attack, so obviously, very, very good super attack effect. I'm just trying to bring up his pre-EZA card. So he does supreme damage and lowers defense. Okay, so he'll still do that as well. But greatly raised defense is good. Passive skill is attack and defense 180. Launches an additional attack and high chance of launching another additional attack when HP is 50% or more. Plus an additional attack and defense 20% with each attack performed up to 100%. Attacks effective against all types within the character's next attacking turn every time the character performs 3 or more attacks during battle. That's interesting. Is it just me, or does this guy seem straight up better than the other 2? So attack and defense 180%. He launches an additional attack, although I guess that's not going to be a super, right? And then high chance of launching another additional attack. I guess it doesn't say in here that has a chance to become a super. So these are only going to be normal attacks. When HP is 50% or more. So when HP is 50% or more, you get your first attack, then you get a second attack normal, guaranteed, then you have a 50% chance of launching another normal attack, so then this triggers this part of his passive here. So in the next turn, because he attacked 3 times, his attacks will be effective against all types. And then obviously if you do get the hidden potential, he could attack 4 times, and the 4th attack could be a super. So that seems interesting. So these attacks are only going to be normal, so at most he can double super, and he is greatly raising defense on super. So yeah, this guy seems like he could be pretty good. And then he gets the additional attack and defense 20% with each attack performed, and you have to attack 5 times. So you can basically do this in 2 turns, because it's each attack performed and not each super attack. So just from reading the passive, this guy seems straight up better than the other 2. We'll have to wait and see the actual calcs for the numbers, but yeah, this guy actually seems pretty decent, so I guess we'll have to wait and see. But those are the 5 EZAs. These are all going to be coming out, like I say, from the 1 Extreme Z battle. Once we find out the weakness, which should be from the data download, I will obviously make team building guides for the Extreme Z battles. So let me know which ones you guys like the most. I mean, INT WHIS seems like an absolutely crazy good support unit for the teams that you're going to want to run him on. And then Vegeta and Bulma, I don't know. I'll try and make them work. You guys know me. I love this unit. I'm going to see what we can get out of them. But I'm not too sure just from seeing their numbers on paper. But let me know which one you guys think is the best down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store. And I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.